If you're unfamiliar with astronauts that recently got stuck up in space, well, not recently, just the end of last year got stuck up in space, here's a quick breakdown. So basically, from my understanding, is that Boeing decided to launch a rocket with astronauts to the space station. I think it was to the space station. And I think it was only supposed to be a week or so, a few days to a week. Then there was issues with their rocket or their ship getting them back. And they couldn't get the parts for it for some time or something like that. Either way, they were basically stranded in space because they had no way of getting home. And Boeing couldn't resolve the issue and get them back to Earth. This has been going on since the end of last year. I want to say maybe November, could be December. But there's an article on it, so I'll go through it and we'll find out a bit more about the new plan on getting them back home. New plan to bring stuck NASA astronauts home sooner. Okay. Now, I did hear Trump or something about Trump saying that he wants Elon Musk and SpaceX to get the astronauts to come back or to go get the astronauts and bring them back. I don't know how true that is and how they're going to achieve that, but I'm assuming that this is what this article is about. Let's see. And by the way, I wouldn't trust Musk and SpaceX. They seem to explode their rockets a lot. NASA's 2 stuck astronauts may end up back on Earth a little sooner than planned. Well, it's not sooner than planned because they had planned to come back last year. It's probably a little sooner than the amended plan to come back. Space Agency has announced that SpaceX will switch capsules for upcoming astronaut flights in order to bring Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams home in mid-March instead of late March or April. That will shave at least a couple of weeks off their prolonged stay at the International Space Station, which hit the 8-month mark last week. Oh, okay. Maybe they went a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it was the end of last year. I guess I'm completely wrong. Time is just going so much quicker these days. The test pilots should have returned in June on Boeing's Starliner capsule after what should have been a week-long flight demo. But the capsule had so much trouble getting to the space station that NASA decided to bring it empty and reassign the pair to SpaceX. Okay. Then SpaceX delayed the launch of their replacements on the brand new capsule that needed more prepping, which added more time to Wilmore and Williams' mission. Oh, so there you go. So SpaceX was already going to try and get them back, but then they had issues. They had preparation issues. With even more work still anticipated for the new capsule, NASA opted for its next crew to fly up on an older capsule, with liftoff now targeted for March 12. This older capsule had already been assigned to a private crew awaiting launch this spring. The private flight arranged by the Houston company Exom Space, featuring astronauts from Poland, Hungary, and India. That's a weird way to word that. Featuring, it's like it's a movie. Featuring astronauts from Poland, Hungary, and India. Shouldn't it be manned? Or I guess you can't say that anymore. Personed? Humaned? Humaned by astronauts from Poland, Hungary, and India. Was bumped and will launch later to the space station, possibly still this spring. NASA prefers having a new crew arrive before sending the old one back. In this case, Wilmore, Williams, and 2 other astronauts up there since September. The new crew going up includes 2 NASA astronauts, as well as 1 from Japan and 1 from Russia. So there you go. I thought it was SpaceX that was going to try and get these astronauts back. From what I heard, Trump requesting that from SpaceX and Musk. But it doesn't surprise me that that's not going to happen. And SpaceX was initially supposed to get them back anyway, but had delayed it due to preparation delays. So it seems like NASA's just going to go ahead and just sort it out themselves. But to me, I just think, in my opinion, I think it's probably the better option. I don't know how much I would trust SpaceX, that company run by Elon Musk, to bring these astronauts back. I mean, they haven't really successfully completed the missions they're supposed to go to the moon. So I wouldn't be putting astronauts' lives at risk getting into a SpaceX spaceship. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't trust it. Anyway, thought this news article was interesting. So yeah.